We're starting with some breaking news that's coming in at the moment. We are learning a Delhi flight that was bound to the train mishap site has been delayed for several hours. We are learning by more than at least 1.5 hours. We are learning this flight that was to reach the Bengal train mishap site has been delayed. It's an IndiGo flight that we are learning. We'll try and get more details. The flight has been sitting on the tarmac for over an hour, we are learning, and the IndiGo crew has informed the passengers that the delay is due to a technical snag, but the passengers are facing a very difficult time at this moment. Many of them have tweeted also. We have Vedant, my colleague, also joining us on the broadcast, getting us more on that. Vedant, we are learning this flight has been delayed by over an hour now. You've also been traveling in the same flight, trying to reach the mishap site. But we're learning the flight has been sitting on the tarmac for over an hour. And what is the explanation now that is being given by the IndiGo crew?
That's right, Kitty. As rightly pointed out, the flight was supposed to take off at about 2:10. And it's been over nearly 2 hours, and the flight is still sitting on the tarmac. In fact, it's just returned to the bay. And what we're being told now by the IndiGo crew is that they'll be deboarding shortly and perhaps arrange another aircraft. There's no clarity on that yet. But it sat on the tarmac for about an hour and a half, after which it returned to the bay. We are now sitting on the bay, and the deboarding has still not begun. So, of course, as you said, the passengers getting extremely impatient on the flight as well. And this is one of the 3 flights to the train mishap site. In fact, this is the last flight to Bagdogra, which is perhaps less than 60 kilometers from the very train mishap site in West Bengal near Jalpaiguri. So, of course, this is the latest in the many sort of incidents that we have seen in the past couple of days, where there have been massive delays on IndiGo flight. What the latest that we're getting from IndiGo PRO is that there was some sort of high temperature triggered some technical snag, which is why refueling could not be done properly. Perhaps that is what the inane reason that has been given by IndiGo as of now. But the update is that still sitting on the bay, and deboarding could begin shortly.
Okay, for over an hour, you're saying that the passengers have been facing difficulty there. Any facilities that are being provided for the passengers? We've seen how in the past also, this is not the first time that such an incident has been reported. Now, are the passengers being provided any sort of facility and clarification as well from the IndiGo crew?
Well, Kitty, it's been nearly 2 hours, in fact, because the flight was supposed to
2 hours now you're saying.
Yes, because the flight was supposed to take off at 2:10. So, it's been almost 2 hours now, and refreshments, etc., are being served. Water is being served constantly, but of course, that doesn't really make up for the fact that it's been 2 hours and the flight has still not taken off. Of course, a lot of passengers tried to seek answers from the IndiGo crew as well. The crew, of course, as always, Kitty, as we've seen in the past as well, says that they have no information and there's no clear communication from the crew, and that is something that really sort of angers passengers and makes them even more impatient. In fact, let me also tell you there are a lot of media channels on the flight as well going to the train mishap site. So more than 2 hours and the flight, there's still no update on that. And of course, a lot of passengers also told me that they've heard of the train mishap that happened there, and many of their relatives are also on that train. So a lot of anxiety around this, and no clear communication from the IndiGo crew.
Okay, there has been no communication so far from the IndiGo crew as to what's leading to this delay in the flight. Initially, they tried to assuage the concerns of the passengers, but then since then, as my colleague Vedant also has been traveling, he's supposed to travel in that flight, but we do understand the flight has been delayed by over 2 hours. He was trying to reach the train mishap site in Bengal, but has been unable to do so because IndiGo has not been able to provide any clarification. Also, so far, it's been more than 2 hours that the flight has been delayed, but IndiGo crew has not been able to provide any comfort, any clarification also to the passengers who've been waiting since hours now, more than 2 hours now, we realize that the flight has been delayed, but nothing we do believe is being done in this regard as to assuaging the concerns of the passengers there. But all right, we are learning that the communication that has come in recently is that it's supposed to fly in some time from now, but how long is that going to take? That also remains to be seen.